Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Dr. Anne and this is the Health Hub. Now today I'll be talking about a topic that is dear to my heart, one of my favorite topics, which is skin, right? And we'll just be looking at reasons as to why your skin is bad and how you can fix it. So growing up, I've suffered my fair share of, skin problems, which is eczema and acne. I found myself having to buy so many products that are over the counter because I always hope that, okay, maybe this time this will work. And every time people approach you and tell you to try certain types of things, you find yourself just going to buy whatever product they recommend in the hopes that it will make a difference or that you'll eventually clear out your acne. But the one thing that worked for me the most was finding out as to why my skin was bad. Once I figured out why my skin was bad, I was able to tackle and treat my acne, and I don't really have problems with that anymore. And my biggest issue as well as was hyperpigmentation, and I just had to educate myself about ingredients that will work towards not only clearing up my skin but also clearing up hyperpigmentation and preventing hyperpigmentation related to acne as well as eczema. So if you have suffered from skin conditions or have struggled with getting the right products for your skin, then this video is for you. Acne occurs when the pores of the skin become clogged, inflamed, and even infected. This results in formation of whiteheads or blackheads, which we refer to medically as comedones, and also formation of pimples as a result of the inflammation. So how this happens is that your skin contains sebaceous glands, and sebaceous glands are the oil producing glands of the skin. Oil is produced in the skin, travels up the follicle to the surface of the skin. If there's any blockage of the pores or inflammation, then you basically will get pimples. So what really causes acne? Different types of things or variables cause acne in different people. That's why a product that worked for someone else might not work for you, is because we all have different skin types, and hence because of that different products will work on you. And the difficulties that people face is figuring out their skin type and what's causing acne for their skin type, and figuring out what to use for their type of skin to treat acne. And once you manage to get these things right, then basically you have won the battle, sis. So let's start to reasons as to why you might have acne. So number one, increased sebum production. Overproduction of this type of oil can lead to one getting clogged pores and therefore formation of pimple. That's why most people with oily skin tend to suffer from acne. Also, alterations in the quality of sebum that you produce or the quality of oil that you produce can result in you getting acne. That's why you can use lightweight oils even though you have oily skin. People who fall under this category are people who have, large pores, cystic type acne, oily skin. They fall normally under this category. Number two is hormonal changes. So hormones also affect whether or not you get acne. So hormonal acne occurs during puberty, sometimes during pregnancy. Another thing that's been looked at that's thought to contribute to one getting hormonal acne is the consumption of dairy products, right? So with regards to hormonal acne, the predominant hormone in women is estrogen and the predominant hormone in men is testosterone. So with a lot of girls, they tend to get this type of acne if there's imbalances in those types of hormones. Studies show that acne patients produce higher levels of testosterone, and high levels of testosterone has been found to be implicated in increased oil or sebum production. This category of patients are patients who probably will have acne along the jawline, around the cheeks. So most of these patients will have either hirsutism or hair overgrowth. So the third thing that can cause you to get acne is changes in your hair follicle. So if there's any changes in the hair follicle or irritation of the hair follicle, then there is keratin formation, keratin plug formation. Then it basically blocks the pore and results in pimple formation. You see this especially with patients who don't necessarily have acne but have that rough type of textured skin with bumps. So it's like bumpy skin but not pimply type skin. This category of people are people who will have that bumpy type skin, that rough skin, that's not necessarily acne but is textured and dull, and basically there's not no glow because there's just accumulation of dead skin cells on top, which form a layer on the skin. Number 4 is bacteria. So when the pore is blocked, because there's no flow or constant flow in production and outflow of sebum, so that stasis causes bacterial overgrowth. Propionibacteria, staph epidermidis, which is a normal commensal of the skin, and corynebacterium. And these bacteria can then grow in the skin, resulting in infection and infection of the hair follicle, and therefore pimple formation, and there's also redness associated with this. These types of bacteria sort of aggravate the immune system and cause an immune type reaction, which then cause formation of bumps or pimples. Number 5 is inflammation. So studies have looked at these things, and these things that have been thought to cause inflammation in the skin are things like stress and the consumption of foods that are high in refined sugars. And where there's inflammation, then there's formation of the pimple. There is, however, there's been debates as to which one came first. Did the inflammation come first and then cause the pimple, or did the blockage of the pore result in inflammation and then formation of the pimple? But either way, you get a pimple at the end of the day. People who fall under this category will have post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. They will have redness associated with their acne, because you can see that there is an inflammatory process that is underlying. Number 6 is medication. Things like steroids can result in acne formation, and steroids are normally used in treatment of things like atopic dermatitis. If you have autoimmune conditions, you can be put on a steroid, and the steroids can result in you getting acne. Also, with regard to birth control, so the injectable types of contraceptives are also made from steroids and can result in you breaking out or getting full-blown acne. The last thing is, especially for people who are transitioning, they put on a testosterone in order to stimulate them to have more male features, and this can result in them getting acne, because we did mention that the high levels of testosterone have been linked with high sebum or oil production in the skin. Number 7 is medical conditions. So there is different types of medical conditions that can cause you to get acne, and this type of acne normally is the one that might not respond to drugstore products, because or any topical type products, because you're not treating the cause. So in this case, you have to treat the cause or the medical condition in order for the acne to go away, right? So there's a lot of endocrine disorders that can result in one getting acne. Things like growth hormone disorders like acromegaly. There's high growth hormone levels that are circulating, and high growth hormone levels have been linked with increased sebum production or oil production. So basically oil is the problem. And there's also one common condition that's people are talking about a lot these days, and that is polycystic ovarian syndrome. And Kiki Palmer, I think, mentioned that she was also suffering from acne and was diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome. And she also talks about how her struggles with acne. And basically, when you have this condition, because of the hormonal imbalance and the high levels of circulating testosterone, women with this condition can find themselves suffering from acne and struggling to get rid of acne. So that's one thing you have to check out, but there'll also be other symptoms associated with it. So it's something that you have to just go read up on, look up. If you're suffering from polycystic ovarian syndrome, some of these women might have irregular periods, some amenorrhea, or they might, their periods are irregular, they come, they don't come, they scanty. There's also hirsutism, or hairiness of the face, or male pattern type hairiness, where they get a beard, or thick sideburns and things like that. So that's one thing that you have to consider. And some of these women will only find out that they have polycystic ovarian syndrome when they're suffering from things like infertility. Then it's only then that it's incidentally picked up. So that's another thing. Number 8. Number 8 is cosmetic products. A lot of people will talk about how the reason why you have acne is because you put a lot of makeup. No, makeup is not the problem. The problem is products that are comedogenic, right? So whenever you're looking at things like makeup and powders and things like that, or even creams, you have to look for products that are non-comedogenic. So that means that they don't result in clogging of the pores, resulting in formation of a pimple. So they seep in nicely into the skin. They don't sit on top of the skin and result in acne formation. And a lot of people are afraid of using oils because the thought process behind them is that they will cause this. And in terms of oils, there's also a comedogenic scale of the types of oils that are most likely to cause acne. So basically, how a comedogenic scale works is that it looks at the different types of oils that are available, and the likelihood of them causing blockage of pores and therefore acne. So you want to use oils that are rating 0 because they won't block your or clog your pores at all, compared to ones that rate 4 or 5, like coconut oil, for example. So also sensitivity to certain facial products can result in formation of acne. There are ingredients that are thought to aggravate the skin and result in acne formation. So with regard to cosmetic products, there's a whole list of the ones that you should be avoiding, especially when you have acne. And those are things like mineral oils, alcohols, parabens, and essential oils. I know a lot of people try to incorporate the whole essential oils for the smell, for the aesthetic, but those things that are fragranced or high in fragrances can cause sensitivity in the skin and therefore inflammation, and inflammation causes acne. And also sodium lauryl sulfate, which is also an ingredient that's found in soaps and especially foaming cleansers, is very stripping and drying to the skin and can cause sensitivity and therefore acne. So you have to try stay away from these products. Basically, you have to move towards clean type skincare. So people who fall under this category of skin will have redness of the skin, basically red, inflamed, sensitive type acne. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed my video. I will catch you on the next one. Make sure you like, you comment, you subscribe.